friend just sent me a lovely recollection of a Winnie the Pooh conversation with Piglet, and they talked about sitting on difficult days with one another. And I appreciated it because this friend has a terrific sense of humor, has been through some stuff, and we both appreciated that when Pooh and Piglet discuss difficult days, it's with a capital D. And I love that because oftentimes when I hear people talk about church vision, it's very much, let's go! One of my other friends has shared with me how much he despises it when players say that in sports, because usually they say it after they've already went. But we already went. We just scored a touchdown. Let's go! Where are we supposed to go? We just went there. And church vision is essential because each gathering of Christ followers, while having the same heart of vision to worship and to do neighbor love in all of its evangelistic and merciful activities and implications, is also unique. It has a unique group of people. It is in a unique place. And the Lord will call them to unique things. I think that the unique things will be outnumbered dramatically by the regular moves that are anything but regular in the kingdom of worship, and community and faithful presence. But in addition to the unique things, in addition to the regular things, a church vision ought to be a roadmap for human flourishing. It ought to be a roadmap for the Imago Dei, the image of God, most fully realized in humans this side of heaven. With another good friend. And if it's a difficult day, saying nothing or saying little, and certainly avoiding trite statements that we long to be helpful, and in our nervousness and fear and anger at what happened to them and general anxiety, we want to say something, we want to do something, and yet the kingdom calling of every Christian isn't more than friendship on difficult days. And this is an overflow of our love. I had another conversation with another friend this week that talked about a definition of love that's robust, and perhaps I don't remind myself or you, the listener, 5 more minutes this often enough, but when I say love, I'm attempting to define it and imply that it's defined most by a biblical definition, which has more to do with the gut than the emotions in a holistic sense. But it also has to do with intellectual assent, and it also has to do with faith that is largely mysterious, God pursuing us and us responding. And so as an overflow of love, which is a move of the intellect, which is the right thing to do, which is a move of our instincts that have been conformed to the image of His Son, we worship. And we get to know one another better in friendship, which takes time and risk and wisdom and prayer and intention, which means we're looking at our schedules as best we can, and we're faithfully present with the poor, with our actual neighbors, with the families that God has given us. I hope that on your difficult days you have a friend who can and knows how to and will sit with you. And I hope that on their difficult days you know how to do that with them. To conclude our vision series this coming week, we're going to talk about limits and individual calling. And we will never transcend the fact that a church vision is also a roadmap to flourishing. That fundamentally we worship because God exists and we're not Him. Therefore, our first move of flourishing is to remember that corporately and individually. Then we learn to do community. We learn to do spiritual family. We learn to forgive and to laugh and to celebrate and speak words of light and correct one another and help one another. And we're faithfully present, which involves all of these things and our neighbors that are not yet followers of Christ. I hope you have a good week, and thanks for listening to 5 More Minutes.